So you're thinking of moving to Salida, Colorado? Well, in this video, I'm going to share 10 ways you can embrace the Salida, Colorado lifestyle. And you're going to want to stick around until the end because the final few tips are things you might not have considered, especially if you already live here. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. This channel is all about living in Salida, Colorado and the real estate market here. So be sure to hit the bell for notifications and subscribe so you're the first to know when new informative videos become available. I'm Monica McCarthy, a realtor specializing in Salida, Colorado and surrounding areas, and I get calls all the time from people just like you looking to move here. So whether you're thinking of moving here in a few weeks or a few months, please reach out to me. All of my contact information is below, and let's schedule a time to chat and see if I can help you make a smooth transition to the Salida, Colorado area. Okay, so let's talk about 10 ways you can embrace the Salida, Colorado lifestyle. Now, the reason why this video is helpful is the lifestyle here is a little unorthodox, particularly if you're coming from the city. So it's important to just recognize some of the quirks of this rural mountain area. Salida is located in southern Colorado. We're surrounded by 3 mountain ranges, and it's a really outdoor focused lifestyle. Many of the people who move here are drawn to that. It's slower pace. It's very community oriented. We have an artsy vibe. We have an arts district and historic district. So it is a really quaint, cool mountain town. And so if that is something you're interested in, and you're attracted to that, great. It is wonderful to live here, but there's just some things that are important to know that you can help you kind of get a feel for the lifestyle here and get integrated, particularly if you are looking to move here or you have just moved here. Okay, number 1, there's no school on Fridays. So this is obviously very important if you're a parent of a school-aged child, but even if you just move here and you don't have any kids, it's just important to keep this in mind. I know when I first moved here, I didn't have any kids yet, and I was very surprised. I was like, why are all these kids out and about? It's Friday. Aren't they supposed to be in school? Well, there's no school. There's no school on Fridays. So we do have some options if you're a working parent and you can't take Friday off. Many parents have some creative solutions for helping with this. There are some people who provide kind of some at-home daycare options. The Boys and Girls Club offers daycare after school and on Fridays for kids ages 6 and up. So that's an option for older kids. And so a lot of people like myself, for example, I'll often, I might get childcare for my child, or I might just have him come along with me and, just have a little bit of a lighter workload that day or just get creative. My son has joined me on some showings before on Fridays. So it just really depends on your working situation, but no school on Fridays, important to know. All right, number 2, get some outdoor gear. Okay, so getting outdoor gear is important in a few ways. So first of all, the weather here. We are in a mountain area, so it's colder. So particularly if you're coming from warmer climate, this is true anytime you move to a cold area. I know when I moved from Texas, I was not quite familiar with, the difference in the quality of gear and how much that matters for your ability to enjoy all of the outdoor activities that are offered here. So increasing your gear to higher quality options. It does get windy here, particularly in the springtime. So you might have a few different jackets, one for winter and one for wind season. And, you can kind of figure out, the different gear that you might need for the different seasons here, the different types of weather. And then also getting the gear to play and enjoy this outdoor area. So, I'm helping people buy homes. A lot of times people are looking for properties that have an extra storage area or a big enough garage for all of their toys. Many people have rafts and mountain bikes and skis and kayaks and, just a ton of different outdoor gear. So finding a home that you can, put that stuff in. Sometimes people even need properties that allow for RV parking because a lot of people have campers and RVs and that sort of thing as well. So if you're looking for that, talk to me about those needs. But, having the tools to be able to embrace this outdoor lifestyle just makes it so much more enjoyable. So I know when I first moved here, one of the first things I got were some snowshoes. So I could immediately just go snowshoeing whenever I wanted, because that was an activity I wasn't able to do when I lived in the Denver metro area. It was, a haul to find a place that you could go snowshoeing easily. Whereas here in the wintertime, there are numerous trails that you can easily drive to where you can snowshoe. So that's true with a lot of different outdoor sports. So get that gear so you can enjoy this outdoor lifestyle. The next one is wear casual, sporty attire. I talk a little bit about that in one of my more recent videos about the tips and tricks before moving to Salida, Colorado, how people here don't really dress up in, suits and high heels and things like that. So embracing that lifestyle of more sporty attire. Maybe you wear your nicer sporty sweatshirt to dinner that night. So that's just, part of the lifestyle here. People tend to be more casual. People tend to wear more sporty attire. And really it's more comfortable, particularly in the wintertime when it's cold. It's nice to just have that warm gear and walk around in it, and it's totally embraced. Even when you're going out to dinner and you're having a night out in the town, you can just wear your nice sweatshirt and all is well. So casual attire, definitely something to get used to and embrace when you live here. And in that vein, wear some local brands. So there is a company called Melanzana that is out of Leadville, and locals call it wearing a melly. So you can they have some really nice sweatshirts and different gear like that. So if you see somebody wearing a melly, they likely live in the Arkansas Valley. So whether it's Salida, Buena Vista, or Leadville, kind of this whole area, you'll often see locals wear that. You can also often see locals wearing or using a Buena Goods bag. It's a company that they make some really useful tote bags. There's the mom tote. I recently treated myself with one of those. There's also Oveja Negra, which is a company that makes handmade bike gear, and so bike bags. So whenever you see somebody with an Oveja Negra bike bag on their mountain bike, they likely live in Salida. So there's other brands as well, but those are just some highlights. So when you start to really live here and buy locally and really just proudly wear that gear, you're embracing the lifestyle. All right, the next one is kids. If you have a kid, then know that many children here learn how to ski, mountain bike, and do outdoor sports just a lot earlier than basically the standard child, the average child in the United States would. Many kids here start skiing at the age of 3 and 4. They offer ski camps in the wintertime for children to learn how to ski. The same with mountain biking. Kids often mountain bike quite early here. They also there's organizations that offer kayaking camps and classes for young children. So kids, because it's an outdoor focused lifestyle, get exposed to those outdoor activities early and then therefore learn them at an early age, which is amazing. And so I love that as a parent of a young person myself, just being able to expose my child to those fun outdoor activities because they're right outside your front door. It's really easy to do. And as a result, many of the kids here are learning them just a lot faster. So, we don't necessarily need to keep up with the Joneses on that, but there is a degree as a parent of noticing all of my kids' peers know how to ski already. My child's almost 5. I really need to get him up there. So if you're able to do that, fantastic. But it's also, on the flip side, it's just amazing to have that as an option for your kid. All right. The next one is you ski Monarch on powder days. So powder days, for anybody who's not familiar with skiing and snow terms, when you get fresh snow, it's fresh powder on the mountain. Snowing is often very amazing when you get those days, and they're unpredictable. It's not always going to happen on a Saturday or Sunday. Sometimes it could be a Tuesday or Wednesday. Locals still try and get up there. Monarch opens at 9 a.m., so you'll often see businesses that open late because they want to get up there and enjoy some fresh powder, get a few runs, come down in an hour or so. So you get a locals pass or you get a Monarch pass, so you can go up whenever, and you just create a schedule where if you have any flexibility in your work schedule and your life schedule to enjoy those powder days, you're definitely embracing the Salida lifestyle to really just enjoy being here and, maybe reschedule that morning meeting so you can get some fresh powder. The next one is bike everywhere. So particularly if you live in the downtown area, I talk about this in some of my videos in terms of where to live in Salida. But if you are able to live in Salida and you have a bike, many people do, that's part of the lifestyle here, then bike as much as you can. Even in the winter, like I said, I have a young child. I see many people take their kids to school on winter days, kind of all bundled up, and they're still biking to school because when you live a few blocks away, it's sometimes even faster than just getting in the car. So there are bike racks out on many of the sidewalks around here in front of many of the establishments, and it's really welcoming to and encouraged even to ride your bike and just go everywhere you can on your bike. That's definitely embracing the lifestyle. The next one is go outside as often as you can. That's why you live here, right? I mean, we have a river running through the town. We're surrounded by mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous. We get a ton of sunshine, so the snow melts pretty quickly. We're in the banana belt, which means, we have a little bit of warmer weather, and it's just so designed. This whole area is just designed around being outside. We have a ton of trails, and it's just very easy to walk outside and enjoy being outside. It's not a trek. You don't have to drive even if you live in a lot of places here. Or if you are driving to a more distant trail, it's not far and there's not traffic to get there. So go outside as often as you can. I mean, it's just good for mental health in general. We know that. And when you live in Salida, that's a huge option here. And don't forget to do that. All right, and next one is when you're shopping, you might run into people you know. So I talk a lot about, how friendly it is here and community oriented. I know one of the first things I remember somebody telling me when I moved here was, budget sometimes when you go to the grocery store because sometimes it takes longer if you run into a few people because you might end up chatting. So if you have, only a few minutes to grab your groceries, maybe do it on an off hour. Also, keep in mind that because you might run into people maybe don't wear those pajamas if you care. I mean, maybe you don't care and that's fine too. We are casual, but you're likely going to run into some people when you're shopping, and there could be some longer chats, and that's just some of the joy of living in this area, and I love it about this town. I call them my Salida moments, and I think it adds some joy, and hopefully you do too. And the last one is embracing the deer. So we have many herds of mule deer that live in town. So you will often see them just walking around. Many of them hang out on the courthouse lawn. They're hanging out in people's lawns. They're also eating the vegetation in those lawns, which can be a little bit frustrating for some homeowners. So sometimes, if you have a fresh garden or a brand new tree that you planted, putting up some fencing to protect that vegetation is helpful because the deer will come and eat it. They're also, hang out in your front lawn, and, so be aware when you're driving, you might have to slow down and let a few cross the road, but it's just like a fun, sweet part of our community that these deer just live among us, and it's fun in the springtime to see the babies, and you've got some really cool looking deer that just hang out and they're just casually walking around town, and when you live here they just become a fixture. So embracing those deer is definitely a part of living in Salida. All right. Thank you so much for your time. If you live here and you have any other fun Salida lifestyle ideas, please share them in the comments below. I'm curious what you think and what you can add to this list, because I know there's certainly more about living in this area. If you have questions about living here, please reach out to me, and all of my contact information is below. Thanks for your time and have a wonderful day.